Let's do a quick test. Who here feels better off under Labour? Nobody. Not one of you.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this channel. Now I thought we wanted, sorry about my camera, it's moving by the way. I thought to introduce our channel before we get into this video because this is a new channel. We are going to be covering what is going on in the UK. British Stand is a channel that does really well on this concept because he's exposing what's going on and there's not many people that are exposing it. As a fellow citizen of the UK, I'm appalled, I'm disgraced about what is going on. And I happen to know quite a bit of information that goes on the internet that a lot of people can't get hold of. Today we're covering Piers Morgan and what he went on about in BBC because, oh my God, he got everyone rattled.
Came into power 2 years ago, under 2 years ago, with a thumping majority. And all this talk of change and hope, they'd had 14 years to think about what they would do if they came into power, this Labour government. 14 years. And what did they do? Day one, Keir Starmer says, things are going to get worse before they get better. Well, he wasn't kidding. He wasn't kidding. We should have taken him at his word then.
So is Nigel Farage the answer, as Robert believes?
Well, the point I'm going to make is, since then, we've had a series of broken promises and U-turns on an unprecedented scale. It's almost like every policy initiative Labour came up with, they've immediately done a screeching U-turn when the public has gone, what is this nonsense? And so it's been, in my lengthy period in the media, 40 years or so, this has been the most shambolic government I have ever seen.
Now, obviously, she's butting in there saying, is Nigel Farage the answer? Is Nigel Farage the answer? Now, I think a lot of people in the UK right now don't even care if Nigel Farage is the answer or not. More people, often more or not, are saying, in fact, we don't care who's next, but whoever it is has got to be better than Keir Starmer. They have got to be. How can you be worse? How can you could put SpongeBob in charge of the UK and he'd do a better job. Piers Morgan has had enough of it, just like a lot of people in the UK too. And when these type of people, these people who have credibility, Piers Morgan, obviously someone who is very well known in the UK, even he is coming out and speaking about this problem. I've actually seen a tweet today, and I'm going to put it on screen as well to show you all. Keir Starmer came out after the election, after he got absolutely annihilated by Nigel Farage. He came out and said, it's important that we reflect and respond to these results. We haven't done enough to offer people hope for the future in the coming days, and I'll be setting out the path ahead. He also said something even worse, that he wants to carry on for 8 years.
The results are tough. They are very tough. And there is no sugarcoating this. We have lost brilliant Labour representatives across the country. These are people who put so much into their communities, so much into our party and our movement. And that hurts. And it should hurt. And I take responsibility. When voters send a message like this, we must reflect and we must respond. I think the vast majority of people do understand that we face huge challenges as a country. We've had a series of economic shocks in recent years, and there's a very difficult international situation that we face. They know that. But they still want their lives to improve. They still want to see the change that we promised. They know the status quo is letting them down and they're frustrated. They don't feel the change. I understand that. I get that. I was elected to deal with these challenges. We made some big calls to stabilise our public finances. These are tough results. But tough days like this, they don't weaken my resolve to deliver the change that I promised at the general election. They strengthen my resolve to do so.
Piers Morgan also exposed the situation of the Jewish kind of situation that happened a few months ago. I'll play this clip now because it's an absolute joke. The responses that come out of this is just disgusting, to be honest.
It's not something we're tolerating.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I could have sworn that when two innocent Jewish men walking down a street were attacked by a lunatic anti-Semite who wanted to stab them to death, and then carried on trying to find other victims in Golders Green, where so many Jewish people live, that when two heroic police officers apprehended this man, who was still armed, who was not, as your leader tried to claim later, in handcuffs, that at that moment, when we're all looking at heroes saving innocent people from being stabbed, your leader, Zach Polanski, goes on social media and retweets a post criticising those police officers. And you don't think that's divisive?
I think he apologised.
You don't think it's divisive?
I think he apologised for that.
Well, he didn't apologise.
He doesn't apologise.
He apologised for putting it out in a tweet, but he said he was still concerned by what he said.
And then he's doubled down on it since and then got it wrong and lied about the police and said that this guy was in handcuffs when he wasn't. And I would go further about Zach Polanski, because I think he's a very weird and quite dangerous individual. And there are other things about him which I just find, frankly, quite disturbing. We haven't got to the bottom of it yet, of why he thinks that if women have hypnotherapy, their breasts will get larger. I interviewed him, and he insisted to me that women can have penises. And that when I challenged him on that, I'm interested in what you think, he said that I was transphobic, without any evidence for me being transphobic whatsoever. This guy is weird, he's dangerous, and he wants to inflame tension when we have heroic police officers doing their job. He wants to inflame tension by making people think that they're the bad guys, not the terrorists trying to kill people.
Oh, Piers. I think we all know, Piers, there's no love lost between you and Zach.
Do you think women have penises?
Do you know what, Piers? I think you have a uniquely strange obsession
It's
with
a
people's
pretty straightforward
genitalia.
question.
No,
It's a
I'm
pretty
sorry.
straightforward question.
I'm sorry, that's a weird question.
It's actually a straightforward question.
Piers, it's a weird question.
What's
and
the
I'll
answer?
tell you
What's the answer?
The answer is the trans community in this country are treated appallingly. This is a vulnerable group of people.
But that
No, I'm
wasn't-
sorry.
that
You need
wasn't
to
my
respect
question.
that.
That wasn't my question.
It's not.
You don't want to answer, do you?
I'm telling you that
You
I
don't
think
want to
it's-
answer.
I'm telling you.
Because of
that-
the woman, you know it's
that-
ridiculous.
I know that you're being ridiculous.
Really?
Honestly.
Why? Why
I tell you
am I
the
being ridiculous?
Let's hear
Another segment as well. So Piers Morgan was speaking about women, men. There's two genders, right? Women, men. No. There's women, there's men, there's walls, there's rainbows, there's chickens. That's a gender. We're gonna have chicken bathrooms, yeah? That's what we're gonna have. Watch Piers Morgan and Green Deputy Leader Rachel Millward, Green Deputy Leader, that kind of says it all really, clash over Zach Polanski's stance on trans people.
There's no love lost between you and Zach.
Do you think women have penises?
Do you know what, Piers? I think you have a uniquely strange obsession
It's
with
a pretty
people's
straightforward
genitalia.
question.
No, I'm
Pretty
sorry.
straightforward question.
I'm sorry, that's a weird question.
It's actually a straightforward question.
Piers, it's a weird question.
What's
and
the
I'll
answer?
tell you
What's the answer?
The answer is the trans community in this country are treated appallingly. This is a vulnerable group of people.
But that
No,
wasn't-
I'm sorry.
that
You need
wasn't
to
my
respect
question.
Piers.
That wasn't my question.
It's not.
You don't want to answer, do you?
I'm telling you that I
You don't
think
want to
it's-
answer.
I'm telling you.
Because of
that-
the woman, you know it's
that-
ridiculous.
I know that you're being ridiculous.
Really?
Honestly.
Why? Why
I tell you
am I
what,
being ridiculous?
let's hear from our audience, because they've
Let's read a few comments from this. If you went back 20 years and told them that we would be arguing over this shit, they would have thought you had been on some sort of substance. We are so screwed. UK, man have penis, woman have vagina. China builds 500 kilometers of high-speed rail. How angry that Millward gets being asked a simple question. Absolutely deranged. This is the problem. These people cannot respond to a simple question. Very simple. Just yes or no. Respond. No. You have to go around. It's like going around the question each time. I see a lot, and I don't think a lot of people really see these things that I'm seeing. They have not many likes and things like that. Piers Morgan, obviously, because he's quite respectable, that tweet had like 5,000 likes, so a lot of people seen it. But if I can do my best to show it to as many people as possible, that is what I will do, because we need to come together as a community to sort what is going out in the UK, and hope that Keir Starmer sees the light and Keir Starmer steps down and does the right thing, because he's only going to make the country worse. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That would be awesome. And yeah, thank you guys for watching my first video.